usar risposta buds. Lad vita da
It's been a little over a year and a half since Byleth was announced for Smash, and just, you know, not everyone was happy about it. I won't go into the drama because it's obviously died down by now, but let me just say, I was so happy to see Byleth announced. I love Fire Emblem Three Houses, and it would have been weird if Byleth wasn't eventually released for Smash. Yes, I do think it was weird that they ended DLC Pack 1 with a character that people over at Nintendo probably knew was gonna get some backlash. Though I guess if Byleth started out DLC Pack 2, then maybe not a lot of people would have bought it, for obvious reasons. I think mainly people don't have a problem with Byleth in particular. From what I looked into, most people just feel like there's enough of Fire Emblem in Smash, and that makes them automatically hate them. And I get it. Personally, it doesn't bother me because I'm a fan of the franchise, but I do agree that maybe they overdid it a bit. What I'm not a fan of is that out of the 8 Fire Emblem characters, 4 of them have the same side B, 6 of them have counters, and then there's this whole thing with Marth where Roy used to be his Echo and then they decloned him, but he still has a lot of similar moves, and then they gave Marth another clone with Lucina, and then they gave Roy Chrom, so we basically have 4 fighters that just feel really similar. So if you feel like it's been getting repetitive, then I don't blame you. Something else people don't like is Corrin. Like, just Corrin in general. I'm pretty sure even Fire Emblem fans hate Corrin. Like, yeah, I think they're fun to play, but Corrin is also not a very interesting character in Fire Emblem Fates, so it just feels off. Fates wasn't well received, so to add the main character of a game that had just come out and not a lot of people knew about at the time, and didn't go on to be loved by critics either, it just feels like Corrin didn't really deserve a spot in Smash. And then there's Robin, but Robin's pretty cool. Even if you don't play them, I don't think people really mind Robin. The one thing I always wondered when Byleth was announced was, is Byleth gonna be a high tier? But then I realized tier lists don't really work well with them because they're based on results, and usually how rankings like these go, it's the more people that play the character, the more accurate the data is. So if 1,000 people play Mario and 800 of them win, then Mario has an 80% win rate. But if only 2 people play Byleth and one of them sucks, Byleth has a 50% win rate and isn't considered a high tier, even though with only 2 Byleth players, the statistics aren't very accurate. Like, go check out a Yeet Smash video, how many Byleths do you see there on average? I know MKLeo has been playing some Byleth. I haven't been paying too much attention as to what he's been up to, but I think he's starting to talk highly about them. Which is nice to hear, because I main Byleth, sorta. But I'm not saying Byleth is top tier or that the community wronged them or whatever. I'm just saying, the less people play a character, the less accurate their place on the tier list is gonna be. And if barely any people play Byleth, then we're never really gonna know how good they can truly be. I just think that maybe they get a little too much shade for being the 8th Fire Emblem rep. The Smash community has that bias, so my theory is that people call Byleth generic or boring right away, but it's really because they're tired of seeing Fire Emblem and Smash in general, so the pure fact that the new fighter is from Fire Emblem is enough for them to instantly ignore the character, no matter how fun to play they may be. So yeah, I blame Corrin. So if you're like that and you're here because you think Byleth is boring, I get it. But let me dedicate a couple minutes to tell you that even though Byleth is a blank slate character, their moves have plenty of personality to them. Unlike Corrin, who I didn't see a lot of Fire Emblem Fates in. But here, I mean, canonically, Amir, Failnaught, and Erdbar, also known as the Axe, the Bow, and the Spear, are strong as hell and turn the 3 best units into mass murderers. 2 of them actually being mass murderers in some timelines.
Kill every last one of them!
It makes sense that down moves do insane shield damage because the axe is used to take down armored people in the game. It makes sense that neutral beast arrows can go really far when fully charged because Claude, the owner of the bow, has crazy range and can snipe enemies from like 5 tiles away. And the funny spear is actually what you use to land the literal strongest hit in the game with Best Lord, so it makes sense that F Smash is actually the move that kills the earliest. And you can't tell me a half whip, half sword isn't at least a little cool. It's their signature weapon in the game, and switching from sword to whip mid-battle is something that does happen. And I guess its gimmick is that you can also attack with it from a tile away, so I guess up air, forward, up and down tilts covering a big area makes sense too. One thing I would have liked was if the rapid jab was broken. Since Byleth basically has a cannon flurry attack, I really hope that rapid jab would do a lot of damage like it does in Three Houses and keep you in for annoying amounts of time, but oh well, too bad the game is balanced. Another thing I didn't like was down B. Not only because it's one of those big moves that don't have much utility other than to mess with people or getting a good read, but because Byleth has a move that can kill earlier. Like, at least make it the strongest move, right? It doesn't make sense. F Smash kills earlier. It doesn't make sense. It's a move designed to be the optimal punish, and it isn't even their strongest attack. Though it does break shields, and that's pretty cool, you will most likely never break a shield with this in a competitive environment.
no, there's no way. No.
Byleth is a shield breaker, but you'll probably get your shield breaks with downers and down smashes because most of the time you land down beats because you got the read, and if you don't get the read, then you're screwed. Whereas down smash actually comes out fairly quickly considering its power, and you can also play some mind games with it by charging it a little longer and get the shield break. And downer is something your opponent has to dodge if they have even the slightest bit of damage to their shield. And finally, I have no clue why Upbeat Spikes. I have no idea what it's a reference to, and it might just be Nintendo desperately trying to make this character as unique as possible and maybe please some of the haters, but I like it. Again, I don't think it's a reference to anything in the game, but it's super fun to play with. Upbeat works for so many scenarios, out of shield, edge guarding, low percent combos, low percent kills. But okay, defending Byleth done. I guess this was just me exploring what people thought of them right now, whatever Leo's been up to, the whole psychology behind automatically disliking them because of post-traumatic Corin disorder and the 4 sort of clones. So that's what I think, but what does everyone else think? Something I found to be really interesting is that in the Reddit post I showed at the very start of the video, it seems that even though most people weren't very excited for Byleth by the time they were announced, the ones that gave them a chance later on ended up enjoying them a lot. In this very amazingly ratioed Reddit post of mine, I asked the question I asked myself at the start of the video, and there were plenty of responses saying that even though they may not like the character, at the very least they are fun to play as. Not sure what the Lil Z reference here is, but hell yeah, that guy's cool. In conclusion, I think Byleth was a great addition to Smash. I think a lot of the people that dislike them is probably just because they have the Fire Emblem label, and if Corin wasn't in the game, or if we didn't have that awkward Marth, Lucina, Roy, Chrom combo, then maybe there wouldn't have been such a scandal over fishnets here. Happy for those who liked Byleth since day one, and for those who ended up warming up to them, and if you still hate them, then that's valid. I can't change what people think, you know? I mean, you're wrong, but...